karanga mai, karanga mai rā. Ai o ki te aurangi. He karanga nei nuna motu o te moanu e aki wā. Te whenua o Aotearoa, te whānau o Rotary. Haere mai, whakatau mai rā.
Hi, I'm Jenny Herring. This video is a snapshot of what Rotary in New Zealand and the Pacific has achieved over the last 12 months. We've been busy throughout these challenging times, looking for ways to fulfil the Rotary International Strategic Plan, to increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement, and increase our ability to adapt. To do this, we have initiated projects during New Zealand's COVID-19 lockdown period, where we've partnered with organisations and businesses to support our communities. Included in this presentation are examples of youth and student volunteering projects, Rotaract, Rotary Foundation, End Polio and Pacific Island projects. Over the year, clubs have worked together to raise funds and also awareness of the work we're doing. We feel that we are well on the way to fulfilling the Rotary vision, so sit back and enjoy the ride.
Kia ora koutou, e whakawhitai ana ki te kōrero. Hello, my name is Grace Castle and I am one of the District 9920 Ripon coordinators here in Auckland, New Zealand. Today I'm presenting on behalf of the 2020 program and the fellow coordinators Gabe and Claire de Guzman, Henry Thomas Kircher and Aini Kwok. So here in Auckland we run Ripon annually for high school students aged 16 to 17, and this year the plan was to increase past RILA participants or Rilarians leadership on the program. Alas, the program didn't end up happening as we'd planned this year, and so the point of today's chat is to explain how we adapted our approach to still provide a program to our Ripon participants in the face of COVID-19. Monday, March the 16th was a long day for all of us here in New Zealand. It was the first day when things started being cancelled left, right and centre due to COVID-19, and that evening our team of 5 had a meeting scheduled and it was inevitable that we would have to make the call to cancel. However, during the 1 or 2 hour phone call we discussed the possibility of, instead of cancelling it outright, replacing it with something else. So we asked the question, what if we didn't have to give students more bad news and more opportunities being taken away from them? So from this discussion, Ripon 2.0 was born, and we got to work drafting up a questionnaire to send to students, asking them what areas of leadership they would like to improve on. We were transparent throughout, acknowledging to the students that this had never been done before and that they would be instrumental in designing their own learning experience. From their answers, we created an online leadership curriculum of 6 modules, which were all topics they'd expressed interest in through the survey we'd given them. Between our team of 5 and our wider District 9920 RILA cohort, we had, despite our young ages, a wealth of knowledge on these topics, offering individual insights, leadership models, self-development tools and personality tests, all of which the Ripon high school students found really helpful and valuable. Ripon and RILA programs across both Australia and New Zealand are now moving their programs online this year, and our Ripon program has been somewhat of a catalyst for this. Of course, we didn't intend for it to be all those months ago during that phone call, and we just wanted to provide something for students instead of an outright cancellation. But the idea has spread to us giving multiple presentations to Rotary clubs across Oceania, over Zoom of course, and it's incredible to see our work having a wider impact, not just to the Ripon participants themselves, but also to the development of RILA participants and consequential impacts that it's had on Rotary networks and programs across Oceania. from here, we are contemplating our possibilities to take this online program further to other students or Rotary programs. If you have any inquiries or remarks, we'd love to hear from you, and our contact details are now on the screen. Thank you for your attention, and on behalf of Gabe, Claire, Henry, Aini and myself, ka kite anō from Aotearoa, New Zealand.
The 11 Rotary clubs across New Zealand and the Pacific have been engaged in a number of projects in the past year. We celebrated Auckland City's 15th anniversary and will soon celebrate Suva's 50th. Our clubs have been very active in working on environmental projects that tie in with our latest area of focus. We've spent time finding creative ways to fundraise, from baking lives better to silent discos, and partnering with other organisations like the City Mission, preparing meals for the homeless, or packing food boxes for families in need, which we also do in Fiji. Rotaract has taken on bigger leadership roles in district-run events like Rilo. Ripen even ran a very successful online Ripen during lockdown. Our Rotaractors are great at involving themselves in the communities they live in and connecting with our local Rotary clubs like our newly rechartered Tahiti Club. This connection allowed our Suva Club to assist health teams with cleaning out areas in the local hospital. Rotaract has been involved with support following Cyclone Harold, from setting up and packing emergency response kits in Auckland to being on the ground in Fiji preparing the distribution of both ERKs and aqua boxes. Our emergency response kit project was one of the projects showcased at our inaugural Rotaract Oceania conference, which saw representatives from across New Zealand and the Pacific coming together to exchange ideas and, of course, have a little fun. The conference sparked multi-district information organisation discussions, and when 2 of our district Rotaract representatives were chosen to attend International Assembly, we prepared a charter, which came through in February, making Rotaract Oceania official. Our 2 DRRs got to connect with Rotaractors from around the world. Thanks to opportunities and connections at International Assembly, our Rotaractors are being invited to attend and speak via Zoom at events around the world.
A collaboration of 5 Rotary clubs in the top of the South Island has achieved a nearly $2 million upgrade of an outdoor education centre on the edge of Nelson Lakes National Park. Rotoiti Lodge was built with the help of Rotarians in 1967. Over the years, it's hosted thousands of school pupils, and even Rotary's program, RILA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, and RIPEN, Rotary Youth Program of Enrichment. With the Whakatū Club taking the lead role, the upgrade attracted support from community funding organisations, businesses, social groups and individuals, donating funds or goods and services in kind. Rotarians offered professional services, organised fundraising events and participated in working bees. The Lodge now sports a commercial-grade kitchen, double glazing, an expansive wooden deck and outdoor teaching area, new floor coverings and curtains, a fleet of vehicles, a workshop and full exterior repaint, and new outdoor sports equipment. The upgrade ensures school groups have a comfortable, modernised base from which to experience the great outdoors and develop confidence and leadership skills. A current gala bid online auction is raising funds so no child misses a school camp at the Lodge because their family can't afford it.
Papanui Rotary has a partnership with the University of Canterbury Emerging Leaders. They want connections around volunteering opportunities, and Rotary helps to find projects for them to get involved. The project was centred around Hamner Springs Forest Camp, which is run by a trust involving some Rotary members. 60 students and 20 Rotarians worked alongside each other on a clean-up around a riverbank, a camp painting job, public park tree pruning and clearing, and a primary school grounds clean-up. Each group had Rotarians working alongside them, so the social interaction was excellent and was followed by a social night where all 80 were fed by Rotarian volunteers. It was successful because this exercise enabled the students to help in a practical way, and it gave us as Rotarians the opportunity to share our knowledge, work alongside younger people, and for Rotary to be seen in the community. The feedback from the Hamner community was extremely positive, and this type of project will be repeated in the future.
Papanui Rotary was able to hold a free Halloween event for local families by partnering with a local real estate agent, Ray White. We used Ray White's social media channels for community outreach, giving us the opportunity to have over 400 children sign up before the event. Families arrived fully dressed up and ready to have some fun. Club members and real estate staff worked together, installing 10 displays around the local park. We used our district Rotary gazebo, put up displays and gave out information about our club, never missing an opportunity to share our stories. The project involved over half of our club members in a fun, sharp, short event where they interacted with children and parents, helping them to identify and name each item on a list from the display stations. Parents loved this event, knowing it was a safe environment within a 2-hour time slot. Each child went home happy with bags of sweets, having been photographed by a professional photographer in their fabulous Halloween outfits.
A public call for volunteers to assist anyone in need due to COVID-19 went out on March 25th, 2020, just as New Zealand went into Level 4 lockdown. This became known as the Gulf Harbour Army Bay United Against COVID-19 Support Group. The public response to the call was overwhelming, and Rotarians from clubs around the Whangaparoa area offered to help. Using Rotary's organisational skills, brand visibility and credibility, we quickly developed a committee with clear goals and leadership. This allowed the group to gain official support, develop teams to safely deliver services, and manage communications between volunteers and those in need. We also developed working relationships with the police, District Health Board, and Whangaparoa Response Group. Within the first 48 hours, we created volunteer role descriptions and sourced volunteers from expressions of interest collected during the initial public call. Within the first 72 hours, a group and Rotary branded leaflet was created, printed and distributed. Within 96 hours, we started receiving the first requests for assistance. The group fielded requests daily during lockdown, and periodic leaflet drops ensured that those needing assistance were aware they could receive it. The Rotary coordinating team operated from home as they were in the stay-at-home age range. 50 younger volunteers shopped for those unable to safely get to the supermarket under lockdown. The coordinating team ensured that volunteers knew what to buy and where to deliver it.
They also ensured volunteers were reimbursed. Service recipients were contacted after a service cycle so we could check in, answer queries and, if necessary, offer a referral to the DHB or Age Concern. Service recipients frequently expressed gratitude that someone out there cares. Several have donated to Rotary. For volunteers, the ability to help people who really need it was a source of tremendous satisfaction. The project has been a huge success on all fronts. It offered positive community visibility for Rotary, attracted support, and laid the groundwork for increasing our younger membership.
During COVID lockdown conditions, many Rotarians felt they needed to do something for those experiencing hardship. The Salvation Army had been inundated for requests for food parcels, and stocks of canned food were low. Papanui Rotary swung into action with a contactless way to collect canned goods, asking each Rotarian to target their own or nearby streets with a flyer, saying they would collect a can if the household left it by their letterbox on a certain time and date. When collected, a thank you flyer was left in their letterbox. These flyers had Rotary branding, a contact name and phone number of the local Rotarian, so that donors knew we were genuine and from Rotary. The community response was overwhelming. Some people gave us boxes of cans, others money, and many called to say thank you to Rotary. The Rotary can collection involved almost all our 46 members, and we collected over 1,500 cans which were disinfected, reboxed and delivered to the Sallies. We were very popular when posting our efforts on social media, and this project highlighted our community spirit, making us feel great.
On the 11th of March 2020, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a world pandemic. On the 23rd of March 2020, New Zealand was put into a full level 4 lockdown, and life as we knew changed possibly forever. It soon became very apparent that some Rotarians and Rotaractors were caught up in this level 4 lockdown and were stranded in New Zealand and the Pacific, unable to continue their journey home. Rotary Oceania Operations set up the Red Fund to assist any member of the Rotary family who found themselves in this situation. On April the 3rd, 52 Rotarians and friends from around New Zealand, the Pacific and the world donned red shirts and zoomed into action. Stories were shared from Ruth Cross, president of the Rotary Club of Tarawa in Kiribati. Ruth was stuck in Nandi, Fiji and needed to get home to Tarawa. We also heard from Rotaractor Karina Mukel from Germany, who was stuck in Wellington. In the end, Karina was able to return home safely to Germany and did not apply for a grant. Ruth was taken under the wing of the Latoka Club in Fiji and housed by Assistant Governor Malika Marshall. Ruth did apply and receive the grant from the Red Fund, which assisted her and her family until they could arrange more permanent funds. Ruth is still in Latoka, waiting to be able to fly home to Kiribati. This fund is still active and is available for Rotarians experiencing difficulties. Anyone interested in contributing or applying for a grant, please go to
The Nandi Mobile Health Clinic project is an example of a values-based partnership with two organisations, Rotary and Ramakrishna Mission, working together to achieve a life-changing and sustainable outcome. I would like to acknowledge the invaluable contributions of the Rotary Clubs of Harbourside Auckland, Nandi and Papatoetoe Central. Non-communicable diseases are rife in Fiji, with rates of illnesses like diabetes more than 10 times those in New Zealand or Australia. These diseases not only impact quality and length of life, but also economic and social well-being. The Ramakrishna Mission operates the Saranda Medical Centre in Nandi, Fiji, providing free health services. The need for mobile health services had long been identified by the mission, working with the Fiji Ministry of Health. However, neither party had the money for a vehicle.
We reached out through our Rotary Club of Nandi, who connected us to ingrained in our club members. It was a very natural fit because both of our organizations are geared to the same ideal and mission and vision of serving people.
With more than 100,000 New Zealand dollars and guidance supplied by Rotary clubs and businesses from Auckland and Fiji, a vehicle was sourced and fitted out as a clinic in Fiji and was on the road in early 2020, briefly interrupted by COVID-19. The clinic is a preventative health service out in communities that otherwise would not have ready access. Services include early identification and education, as well as initial treatment and medication. More serious cases are referred to clinics and Nandi Hospital. Community health workers in each location are key members of the team, and the clinics are held in local schools and churches. Take-up of the services has surpassed expectations. From the 1st of July until the 13th of August, over 1,900 people in 31 communities, settlements and villages have been seen. In the 20 to 60 year age range, approximately 50% were identified as at risk, requiring follow-up and intervention to prevent their conditions worsening.
We are very happy to inform that the bus is out on the road 5 days a week with the medical team provided by the Ministry of Health and supported by our own staff at the Sharda Medical Center, seeing between 50 to 70 patients daily. Now, this is even beyond what we had originally expected, but we are very happy that it's very successful. The response from the people of the community, from the government has been very, very encouraging, and we feel very happy that this is a very successful and fruitful partnership.
The mission and the ministry now run the clinic, staff it, maintain the vehicle and provide regular reports. Rotary and the mission have built a partnership that we plan to continue, providing early intervention services that we take for granted to people who otherwise would not be able to access them.
We would like to thank the Rotary clubs for their wonderful support, financial and technical in various ways. It has been a joy working with you, and we hope that this partnership, the support from the Rotary Club to our medical services in Fiji would continue.
During the last Rotary year, 2019-2020, the 6 districts in New Zealand participated in 36 global grants, including the Give Every Child a Future project, which has only just been approved. The total value of these global grants equaled $3.5 million, a fantastic effort. As an example of what the Foundation can do and the power of global grants, District 9920 received $15.08 in matching funds for every dollar donated by their district in the 2016-2017 Rotary year. This type of return is why all Rotarians should be donating to their annual program fund. I have prepared 2 examples of the amazing projects being undertaken by the districts in New Zealand using global grants. The first of these projects was the Fiji Oxygen Project. No child, no person should die for a lack of oxygen. Severe pneumonia in children and severe newborn illnesses, for which oxygen is a life-saving treatment, are leading causes of death in the Pacific and worldwide. This project will address the pressing and challenging need in Fiji to ensure that those needing oxygen and those with severe hypoxic illnesses get it. And then the other project was the Onja project. In Madagascar, higher education is a privilege, reserved for about 5% of the people who can afford it. As a result, the majority of the most brilliant minds are limited to low-paying, unfulfilling careers. Designed to tackle this injustice, Onja consists of a school and an enterprise. The school offers English and software development training to talented students who otherwise couldn't continue their education. The enterprise will employ graduates from the school to work as software developers. Offshore companies would then be able to hire those developers to work remotely. Profits generated will feed back into the school to educate more students, making the process completely self-funding.
When I set up the Polio All Trains Task Force under the leadership of past District Governor Ron Sito, I had 3 goals in mind. Firstly, to raise funds to support the End Polio Now campaign. Secondly, to raise awareness of the End Polio Now campaign and Rotary International in our community. And equally important, thirdly, to have fun in the process. As Auckland is divided into 2 districts, District 9910 and District 9920, we decided to combine forces for this event. It was a long day, 10 hours in all. We rode every stop on the Auckland train network, collecting donations and sharing information about the fight to eradicate polio. Politicians David Seymour, Simon Bridges and Simeon Brown, plus New Zealand's Miss World Lucy Brock, all participated.
It's fantastic to be here on the train and doing it for an amazing cause, and that is to end polio now.
Thanks so much to Rotary for putting this on. My mum was one of the last people in the Western world to have polio, and I think it's so fantastic that Rotary International and the Gates Foundation are committed to eradicating it worldwide, and we're doing it right here in Auckland by riding every stop in the network.
We also created social media photo opportunities and engaged the public at every station. In the end, the winners were End Polio Now and Rotary. We raised $76,000 and increased awareness of the work that Rotary is doing in the community. I hope this video has given you some insight as to what's happening in New Zealand and the Pacific. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to present to you.
Nō reira, nau mai, haere mai, whakatau mai.